So the lesson for tonight is 3-1, two-step and multi-step equations. And I want you to format your notes exactly like the screen has it here, where it has the notes at the top and then 6 examples divided up into boxes. I want you to format your paper exactly like that. It should just be one page. Okay, here's the notes. I want you to copy down what's written there. Golden rule of equations: do unto one side as you do to the other. We have to abide by that for every equation. The order of operations, the order of operations that we use for every problem is right here. And what's important is this note right here on the right-hand side, is that when we solve equations, we go in the reverse order of operations. So we're doing things in reverse when we solve equations. And so you have 6 examples. Here's the first 2. For each example, we're solving for x. I want to get x by itself, so I want to move everything else to the other side. Example number 1, this is a positive 6, so I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I get that 4. That 4 is equal to negative 2x, and then I divide both sides by negative 2, and so I get that x is equal to negative 2, and I want to always put the variable on the left-hand side. That's example number 1. Example number 2, I'm going to try to solve for x first. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I will get 7x equals 7. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 7. And I get that x is equal to 1. Circle the answer. Okay, next page. Now this is very important. We're talking about clearing fractions. When we clear fractions, first of all, any problem that has fractions, we can clear them by multiplying by the least common denominator. Okay? Multiply by the least common denominator, the LCD. Okay? So for this problem, I'm going to multiply each term in the problem by 15. Okay, I'm going to multiply each term by 15, all 3 of them. So when I multiply 15 by the first term, it will cancel and just give me w. When I multiply 15 by the second term, it would be 15 over 5, which would end up being 3. And then when I multiply it by the last term, it would be 45 over 5, which will end up being 9. So I'll get the problem w minus 15 over 5, or excuse me, let me erase that. W minus 3 equals 9. And then I'll just add 3 to both sides. I will get w equals 12. Okay? Next example has fractions on everywhere. Fractions everywhere in the problem. So I'm going to multiply by my least common denominator, which is 8. When I multiply by 8, I'm going to skip a couple steps. This will be 24 over 4x plus 8 over 2 equals just 56 over 8. Okay? Then I can reduce all these, so this would be 6x plus 4 equals 7. So now I have a problem with no fractions in it, which is what I want. I can subtract 4 from both sides and get 6x equals 3, and I would end up getting x equals 1/2 for the answer for that problem. Okay? Next, 2 examples. I have variables in 2 places. Okay, and they're on the same side of the equal sign, so I can just combine them on the left-hand side. When I combine these 2, they will combine to be negative 2x plus 3 equals 13. So I don't have to do the inverse operation because they are on the same side of the equal sign. I can go on with the problem, and I would have negative 2x equals 10, so x is equal to negative 5. And the last example is example 6. And here I have a negative sign in front of the parentheses. So I have to distribute that and get a new problem. 9 equals 6 minus x minus 2. And then I have constants on the same side. So I can combine 6 and negative 2 to be 4. And I'll combine it. I'm going to reverse the order here and say negative x plus 4. So now I can subtract the 4 from both sides. I get 5 is equal to negative x. So x is equal to negative 5. That's my answer. Okay, the key for this video is this last slide where it says that you need to turn in your notes immediately when you walk into school tomorrow. Put them on the tan chair, and I would like you to not say anything about that to anyone else.